When people talk about financial freedom, Tony Robbins is one of the names that always comes up. He is not only a motivational speaker, but also a financial strategist who has worked with billionaires, entrepreneurs, and everyday people. His advice blends psychology, discipline, and practical money strategies. While his teachings are vast, one of his most powerful concepts is a simple three-step formula that anyone can apply to move toward financial freedom. It does not matter where you start, whether you have $100 in your account or $100,000, because the formula is about principles, not income level. In this video, I will explain Tony Robbins' three-step formula to financial freedom, how it works, and most importantly, how you can start applying it today. The first step in his formula is to create a clear financial vision. Robbins insists that most people fail financially not because they are lazy or untalented, but because they have no clarity about what they want. They say they want to be rich, but they cannot define what that means. Does rich mean having $1 million? Does it mean never worrying about bills again? Or does it mean having the freedom to work only when you want? Without clarity, your brain does not know where to aim, and without a target, you cannot hit anything. So Robbins' first instruction is to define exactly what financial freedom looks like for you. He suggests breaking it down into levels. The first level might be financial security, where your basic needs like housing, food, utilities, and transportation are covered without stress. The next level is financial independence, where your lifestyle is fully covered without needing to work. The final level is financial freedom, where you have enough wealth to live the life of your dreams, to travel, to give, and to create without financial limits. During my own application of this formula, I sat down and wrote out each level in specific numbers. I calculated how much money I would need monthly for security, independence, and freedom. This process alone was eye-opening. Instead of a vague dream, I now had real figures. Robbins says clarity is power, and in this case, it is true. Once you define the target, your brain starts looking for ways to reach it. The second step in Tony Robbins' formula is to create a plan that leverages compounding. He often reminds people that you will never earn your way to financial freedom. You must invest your way there. Saving money alone will not make you wealthy because inflation eats away at cash. Instead, Robbins teaches that you must learn the power of compounding growth. Compounding is the process where your money earns returns, and then those returns earn returns, snowballing over time. Robbins shares that if a young person invests just a few $100s a month consistently, they can retire with millions thanks to compounding. The earlier you start, the more powerful compounding becomes. But here is the key. Robbins is not suggesting risky bets or gambling on the stock market. His approach is built on diversification and consistency. He emphasizes using index funds, mutual funds, or other vehicles that track the market steadily. His principle is not to try to outsmart the market, but to participate in it with discipline. When I applied this step, I took a portion of my income and committed to investing it every single month, no matter what. I automated the process so I did not rely on willpower. At first, the numbers felt small, but within a few months, I could already see the balance growing. Robbins compares compounding to planting seeds. At the beginning, it looks insignificant, but with time, the forest grows and it becomes unstoppable. Another key part of this step is diversification. Robbins insists that you should never put all your eggs in one basket. He advocates for something he calls the all-seasons portfolio, inspired by Ray Dalio's all-weather strategy. The idea is to spread your money across different asset classes, stocks, bonds, commodities, and real estate, so that you can handle any economic environment. This way, you do not panic during recessions or get greedy during booms. You stay balanced. The third step in Tony Robbins' formula is emotional mastery. He says that 80% of success in wealth building is psychology and only 20% is strategy. The truth is, most people know what they should do: save more, spend less, invest regularly, but they fail because emotions take control. Fear makes them sell when the market crashes. Greed makes them chase quick wins. Stress makes them overspend. Robbins insists that mastering your emotions is the real key to financial freedom. He teaches that you must condition yourself to act with discipline, not with emotion. This means automating your investments so you do not second-guess them. It means creating rules for spending so you do not sabotage your own goals. And it means learning to see financial downturns as opportunities rather than disasters. During my 30-day trial of this formula, this step was the hardest. When the market dipped 1 week, I wanted to pull my money out. When friends invited me to spend on unnecessary things, I felt the urge to give in. But remembering Robbins' words about psychology kept me strong. I realized that financial freedom is not only built in the bank but also in the mind. Now, let us look at how these 3 steps come together. First, you define your financial vision with clear numbers and levels. Second, you create a plan to invest consistently and let compounding do the heavy lifting. Third, you master your emotions so that fear and greed do not destroy your progress. This formula is simple, but its power is in consistency. Robbins often says that people overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in a decade. If you stick with this formula for 10 years, your financial life will look completely different. One of the most inspiring parts of Robbins' teaching is his reminder that financial freedom is not about waiting until retirement to enjoy life. He encourages people to design a life they love along the way. For example, even if you are still working, you can create small levels of freedom by having investments that cover certain expenses. Imagine if your investments paid your rent or covered your groceries. That small taste of freedom builds momentum and motivation to keep going. Another lesson Robbins adds is the importance of giving. He says that if you cannot give when you have a little, you will not give when you have a lot. Contribution, in his view, is part of true wealth. Money without meaning is empty. When you share, you create a sense of abundance that goes beyond numbers. Let me illustrate with a simple story. A man once came to Robbins saying he had no money to give. Robbins gave him $1 and said, "Now you do. Give 10 cents away." The man was shocked, but the point was clear: generosity is a mindset, not a bank balance. By practicing contribution, you remind yourself that wealth is about more than survival. It is about significance. So what happens if you apply Tony Robbins' 3-step formula? Over time, you move from stress to confidence. You stop feeling like money controls you, and you start feeling like you control money. You gain clarity about your goals, discipline in your actions, and peace in your emotions. Looking back at my own experiment with this formula, I can say it changed not only my finances but also my perspective. I stopped chasing vague dreams of being rich someday and started building a concrete plan. I stopped fearing the ups and downs of the market and started trusting the process of compounding. And I stopped letting emotions dictate my spending and started mastering them instead. The biggest realization was this: financial freedom is not a distant dream. It is a process you can begin today. It starts with clarity, grows with compounding, and lasts with emotional mastery. Tony Robbins breaks it down into 3 steps because simplicity is power. If it is too complex, people give up. But if it is simple and actionable, anyone can start. So here is what you can do right now. Step 1. Write down what financial freedom means to you in real numbers. Step 2. Commit to investing a fixed percentage of your income every single month, no matter how small. Step 3. Build rules and habits to master your emotions so you stay consistent even when challenges come. If you do this, you will be far ahead of the majority of people who live paycheck to paycheck without a plan. And if you stay with it for years, you will look back and realize that the formula worked exactly as promised. Tony Robbins' message is clear: financial freedom is not about luck, it is about design. You design your life by following principles, not emotions. His 3-step formula gives you the blueprint. All that remains is for you to take action.